I created G plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello and welcome to our presentation for today. Our presentation topic today is eating to lose weight in a sustainable way. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I do see from a couple people kind of checking in through the chat. Hello, Iva. Just keep in mind, please feel free to go ahead and any questions that come up throughout this presentation, feel free to add those in the chat box. I will maybe stop kind of throughout the presentation, maybe here and there, to answer some questions, and then definitely at the end, we'll take time for more questions and to review those that have come up throughout the presentation. So please feel free to add those. Definitely want to make sure help out as much as I can. So any questions that come up, please send them my way. We'll go ahead and get started today, but just so you're aware too, our presentation topic for next week is going to be on food labels and misleading claims. So stay tuned for that one coming up next week, and we'll go ahead and get started here today. All right. So yes, presentation for today is eating to lose weight in a sustainable way. And so today we're going to go a little bit more into detail on some things that might not be so sustainable for long-term weight loss, and then things that you can look for to ensure that you're really following a more sustainable plan. So first off, so why do so many diets fail? At any given time, more than a third of Americans are on a specific diet, with weight loss being the leading reason. While most weight loss diets will help you to lose weight, they may likely be unsuccessful over the long run for a number of reasons. Some diets are so restrictive that they may be challenging for you to stay consistent with, leading to falling off track with the diet over time. Often these very restrictive plans can also lead to reduced activity levels due to the reduction in calories as well as energy levels. However, you can also follow a plan perfectly sometimes and still only see minimal weight loss or end up regaining that weight over time. Even when research studies confine study subjects to a research setting, the lost weight and other health benefits, like improved cholesterol and blood pressure, tend to often disappear soon after the study ends. In a more recent study that enrolled nearly 22,000 adults who followed one of 14 more popular diets right now for an average of about 6 months, an average weight loss was found to be about 10 pounds at that 6-month mark. However, results at the 12-month mark in that first year. Blood pressure and cholesterol results that were improved at that 6-month mark also gradually returned to where they started after a year. So today we're going to explore the reasons why many diets may fail and then discuss ways to ensure that the nutritional changes that you're making are sustainable for you in the long run. So why is quick weight loss rarely sustainable? First off, I'm going to start by pointing out the little diagram I have in the upper right-hand corner here. You'll see a little stick man there, and he's showing you kind of more of the results maybe of yo-yo dieting, where you go on a very restrictive plan where you may see very quick, rapid weight loss results. So you'll see him in his before and after. In his after, he's of course much smaller, he's happy. But then in the after that period of time, he ended up gaining that weight back and then some more, which is something we do often see with very, very restrictive plans. Studies have shown that many diets that show success in the short term tend to fail over time. Additional studies have shown that plans that lead to very quick weight loss results in the short term are generally the most likely to lead to the regain of that weight over time. Researchers have found that those who generally lose weight in a slower and more consistent way see the best results over the long term, keeping the weight off that they lost. A dramatic example of this comes from a 2016 study of 14 participants in the Biggest Loser competition. Over the course of the 30-week show, people lost on average 129 pounds each. But 6 years later, all but one had regained most of their weight, which was on average about 90 pounds each. Everywhere we look, we are presented with diets that claim we can use a large amount of weight in a rapid period of time. It can be exciting to see a large drop in weight when beginning a plan. However, research has shown us that slower weight loss and following a plan that is sustainable for you, rather than one that is overly restrictive, is the best way to benefit your health and the best way to ensure weight maintenance over the long term. So diving a little deeper into what is sustainable weight loss, doing things like severely restricting your calories or ditching carbs altogether may give you dramatic upfront weight loss results, but they don't make sense if you want lifelong success. Research supports the types of behavior changes that are sustainable long term. One way to ensure sustainable, lasting weight loss is to set goals and also look at your habits. So make sure you are always setting goals for yourself and that they're very realistic for you. For example, if your weight loss routine includes running 1 mile, say 3 days a week, increase this once you're able to 4 days a week, or maybe add on another half mile to each time you run. Slowly increase this over time as you're ready. Setting and achieving these small, realistic goals sets you up for success, and just keep building on top of them. Examining your habits and food triggers is also very important for sustainable weight loss. Do you ever notice that you eat when you're feeling different emotions, when you're sad, even when you're happy? Do you grab a snack when sitting down to watch your favorite show just out of habit? It's important to examine these patterns and triggers and systemically look at changing those patterns of behavior based on the knowledge of your triggers. There's a few keys to sustainable weight loss. So number one, this is so huge. Determine your why. It's so important to have a meaningful reason that you want to lose weight, whether it's your health, your children, your looks, or your lifestyle. Identifying your why and searching for ways to maintain your day-to-day focus proves very critical. Before you embark on your weight loss journey, write down 2 to 3 reasons why you want to lose weight and get healthier. Anytime you feel your motivation start to slip, refer back to this list to remember why you started. I've also recommended many times as well, just having visual cues, visual reminders of your why can help a ton. That could be a picture. It could be something you print out and put somewhere in your house that you see it often. Reminding yourself very often of your why is very important. Adopt a healthy, balanced diet. No one feels their best when they're eating poorly or following a plan that is too restrictive in calories or macronutrients. As you start losing weight, focus on creating healthy, sustainable eating habits. Focus on portion control and nutritional balance. Skip any radical diets that promise quick results but rarely deliver sustainable solutions. Focus on eating a very balanced diet and completely avoid skipping meals. Most people find success with eating smaller meals every 3 to 4 hours or so throughout the day. Incorporate regular exercise. So exercise is helpful for weight loss because it burns extra calories, it promotes the creation, of course, of lean muscle mass, and triggers the release of feel-good neurotransmitters. Additionally, athletes burn more calories at rest than their sedentary counterparts due to active individuals' higher percentage of lean muscle mass. So you'll even burn, of course, with that exercise routine, you're increasing your calorie burn. And even in the long term, building muscle, you'll be even increasing your calorie burn at rest as well. Prioritize rest and relaxation. Sleep and stress management are critical to achieving and maintaining hormonal balance. Sleep is beneficial to weight loss because it reduces stress, improves mood, strengthens immunity, and helps control cravings. Unwinding during the day is also important to decrease cortisol levels. High levels of cortisol cause the body to retain fat and trigger unhealthy cravings, both of which can inhibit weight loss. Plus, with the adequate rest and relaxation, they help us to stay emotionally healthy by increasing creativity and improving memory function. And here's a few more additional tips for sustainable weight loss. Starting off, eat colorful, fiber-rich foods. So including a colorful array of fruits and vegetables, making sure you have lots of variety with this can help to kind of spice up your meals and snacks while also helping you to keep full longer due to the high fiber content of these foods. To save money, consider buying frozen produce, which is flash frozen at its peak and often has a similar nutrition content to the fresh form. This is also a great way as well if you find that when you're purchasing fruits and veggies, maybe by the end of the week, some of it's going bad, go ahead and freeze it or buy it frozen in the first place. It will minimize that waste as well. Cut back on added sugar. So this might seem like an obvious one, but sugar is often disguised on food labels under many different names. Added sugar is the main reason packaged and processed foods, examples like ketchup, cereal, salad dressing, reason why they're so calorically dense is the added sugars. So our bodies break down added sugars rapidly, causing blood sugar and insulin levels to spike. Added sugars also lack a sense of satiety or fullness, contributing to cravings for more. You can reduce your intake of added sugar by simply opting for more whole food options and reducing your intake of more processed foods. Limit your alcohol intake. So while many alcoholic drinks are high in sugar and carbs in the first place, alcohol is also metabolized first when it's consumed, which places a pause on metabolizing protein, fat, and carbs. So in a sense, it kind of slows your metabolism down in the short term. Alcohol can also lead to cravings and affect your quality of sleep, all factors that can influence your weight loss progress. Practice mindful eating. So most of us are so busy today and find ourselves eating while checking emails, driving, or watching TV. Sometimes it's almost inevitable, but when you aren't so focused on what you're eating, it's easier to ignore those satiety cues, which then can lead to overeating. Again, it's also super helpful to find a time, if it's your lunch break in the middle of the day, where you can have a moment to slow down and be in the moment, which will also help with things like stress hormones as well. Lastly, work with a health coach. So health coaches like myself at G-Plans, we can help you to make sure that you're creating realistic changes that will be sustainable and fit into your lifestyle, all while making sure that you can see consistent progress towards your goals over time. So yeah, working with a health coach is a great way to get started on the right foot and make sure that you're setting realistic goals in the first place and making changes that are very sustainable for you. All right, and so that brings us to the end of our presentation here today. So I would love to take questions, of course, at this time. So do please feel free, if you have any added questions, please feel free to add those to the chat box at this time. I'm going to change over here. All right. All right. So yeah, looking through our questions here today. And I see here, Genoa, yes, awesome that you've added in walking. That's a great thing to add to your exercise routine. But yes, you're correct. Maybe supplementing that routine with something else, having maybe walking a couple days a week, and then maybe a couple other days a week, adding in some more resistance training exercise is a really good way, really good, well-rounded routine. All right. Oh, yeah. And okay, I see here Denise said, how is swerve or monk fruit and stevia? It's a great question. Yeah, these are really good options. I love monk fruit and stevia. Stevia, personally, is my favorite, I think. Really good options because, of course, these are 0-calorie sweeteners. So in the first place, stevia itself, there's a lot of artificial sweeteners you can use, but it's kind of nice to opt for something that is a more natural source like stevia itself or the monk fruit. And these are 0 calories. So a great way, of course, to reduce, for example, those added sugars you're taking in. Right. All right, I see a question here from Chelsea. How do you eat healthy with different shifts and driving an 18-wheeler too? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm assuming you're definitely on the go a lot. So I would suggest, first and foremost, as much as you're able to pack some things with you, if that works for you, to pack some foods that maybe you don't have to keep them cold, some options for you that are healthier things that you can have in the truck with you. And then I would also just try to find some fast food restaurants, and I would examine their menus to try to find the healthier options so that when you are, off on a truck stop, you're somewhere and you have limited options in the first place, but you already have kind of looked over several menu options and kind of the best choices that you can make. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. See quite a few questions here. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I see here with Rachel, she says, can hormones play a big part in weight loss? I exercise 5 times a week and eat generally healthy, but don't really lose weight unless I really cut calories. I would say, Rachel, yes, absolutely. Hormones play a big role in weight loss. And sometimes even if you have been under eating as well, those hormones could kind of be playing into the fact that you're not seeing progress initially on a plan. I would say definitely finding consistent times for you to eat throughout the day and not skipping those meals, staying really consistent with it, making sure that you're eating a good amount of calories for you and you're not under eating. I would just stick with that routine. Of course, opting mainly for whole foods would be great also. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer, especially if you are dealing with some hormone issues, but be patient and stay consistent with it, and those results definitely will come over time. Yeah, and I see here Amy said with mindful eating, I'm guilty of this. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, and I know with us being so busy today, mindful eating can be super challenging to try to slow down and even set aside that time for us to sort of take a break and to eat and enjoy our food. But it does help so much with, first of all, us being able to just enjoy that meal in the first place, increasing satisfaction and helping you to know when you're full. Sometimes when we're so busy doing multiple things at once, we'll be eating and not even truly knowing that we're full at the time. Okay, I see with Abigail. Any suggestions on how to stay on track when you're the only one in your home making the change? Making more than one meal is tough and costly. That's a really good question, Abigail. I would first, if you haven't, I would try to talk to the rest of your family, anyone in your household, and just see if they might be willing to make a few adjustments, even if it's, for example, if you are preparing, if dinners, for example, may be the main meal you're preparing for everyone, maybe they would be okay with just making some slight changes to their dinner meal. If not, however, I definitely suggest if you break meals down into kind of components, you'll have, for example, say, a protein, a vegetable source, and then maybe a carb source. So you might have a carb source for you that you could throw like a sweet potato in the oven, and then maybe the rest of your household has another source for their carbohydrates, something that they might prefer. So trying to break things down that way can definitely help a ton. I'd also say too, taking advantage of meal prep services like Sunbasket Meals, that one, for example, would be a great option. So you could prepare their meal, but then have another choice for you as well that you don't have to prepare. All right. Okay. Okay, I see a good question here. How long should we wait after a meal to eat a snack? Yeah, in general, sticking to that consistency about anywhere between your meals and snacks is going to be a really good window. I would say, though, of course, everyone's schedule and routine can be a little bit different. So you might find maybe there's a smaller gap, maybe a slightly wider gap in your day. But if you can kind of narrow down specific times that you can more or less keep consistent each day, that can also really work well as well. So our bodies know, I kind of grew accustomed to that routine of knowing when that nourishment is coming. All right. Okay, well, that's about all the time I do have for questions today. Thank you so much for submitting these great questions. I hope this presentation was super helpful for you today, and thank you so much for tuning in. I do want to keep in mind, too, next week, our topic will be food labels and misleading claims. So we'll go a little bit into detail on that next week. So hope you'll tune in then, and hope you have a great rest of your day.